seasons, right?
That's fantastic. So you would actually read the comics and watch the show?
No, the show I didn't watch.
You were a purist.
I was a purist. Well, but when I got the audition, I watched the show because I don't know if anybody out there is aspiring actor or does any acting, but for me, every show has its own kind of feel. Like if you watch Gilmore Girls, for instance, everybody talks really fast. So if you're auditioning, you're going to talk fast. You have to understand that that's kind of the aesthetic of the show, right? So if I have the ability, if it's not the first season of the show or a pilot, I'm going to sit there and do my research on what the tone of the show is. And so I watched a few episodes to get kind of the tone of what the show is about.
That's fantastic. It's surprisingly rare in the industry to get actors who already know the material in a genre piece like that, especially comics. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred another role if you had been cast earlier? Do you think? Did anybody jump out?
No, I think Olivia suits me, you know? She's my kind of character. She's, kind of complex. She's not a cut and dried hardcore person. She has to do a lot of changing, and I enjoy someone who in the midst of a really dark situation still tries to keep it light. It's what we do, or otherwise, if we don't. Because I've been through both 9/11 and Katrina's. I can tell you, having a sense of humor has been key to my survival.
Very much so, very much so. So on set, so obviously like instant turnaround and you're on set, and you were interacting with people who had been together for months or years in some cases, and how quickly did you become part of the family, or did you, well, I'm given the part, I don't know, but how was it on set when you got there the first day?
Well, when they say it's like a family, The Walking Dead, people, it really is. My very first email from the production coordinator was, "Welcome to The Walking Dead family. We're so thankful to have you." Just delightful. That never happens. And when I got on set, it was a real concerted effort to make sure that I felt welcome. One of the things that happened was, at lunch, the cafeteria or the lunch hall where we all eat is like, it's a lot like high school all over again. You come in, it's like the producer's sitting over there with the director and the super famous people, and then, and like the lesser people sit here. So I walked in, I took a seat, somewhere, and Steve said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm sure you guys all have your seats, your cast seats." He's like, "What are you talking about? You are cast, come sit."
Aww.
So that's day one.
So how giant was the stack of NDAs you had to sign? How many lawyers were involved on day one?
You have to sign it every year.
Every year?
Yeah. Just to make sure. It's one page, but it's real clear.
Oh, yeah. I'm thinking they put like a bomb collar on your kid or something, just to keep you honest. They're so aggressive about it.
They are, but they should be,
Sure.
I think it's a lot tougher now because of social media and phones and all that. Back in the day, 10 years ago, right? We didn't have to be quite as vigilant about that. But there is something to it. I like to watch a show as it comes out. Right. I don't want to know ahead of time, because that's the thing, that's part of the magic. If you do, then jam on, that's your thing. But for me, I really like to sit there and follow it as it unfolds. So yeah.
How isolated is the set for Alexandria? Is it near the city? Is it way outside?
We shoot in a little town called Sonoya, Georgia. That's about 25 minutes southeast of Atlanta. Mm-hmm. And Alexandria is actually it's a whole neighborhood. They bought the entire neighborhood. It was still being built at the time that they started shooting Alexandria. So all those are real houses, and we actually have a couple families who live there.
Really?
Yeah, so we'll be shooting sometimes, and there'll be somebody on their porch drinking their glass of wine and watching us blow stuff up. I don't know how you could live there, because we shoot all hours, and it's loud,
surreal,
noisy, and busy. But yeah, it's a lovely little place, walled community. And when we're done, whenever that is, they're gonna sell all the houses.
Mm-hmm. And that would be part of the selling point.
Yes.
Live in a town that's been touched by zombies. Good times. It's so, we have to dance so carefully around any questions around the show, and you got to appreciate that. And I'm sure some of you won't appreciate that, but it's just so great. Jumping aside a bit, I noticed that you were in Bat Moms this year. That must have been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we shot that in New Orleans. I don't know if you guys have seen it. Mommies, you gotta go see it. It really is great. And I'm not saying that because I'm in it. It's really like liberating film. I'm a mom too. I have a 3 and an 8-year-old. Yeah, it's with Mila Kunis and Kristen Bell and Katherine Hayden and who else? I can't remember right now. But we shot it in New Orleans. It was a blast. The scenes that I'm in, I come in and I kind of spoil something for a couple of the other moms, and I'm called Mousy Mom, and then I get really trashed with those 3. We have a big party. It's so much fun to shoot. It's a great movie. The people who wrote and directed are the same people who did The Hangover, and it's 2 men, and they wrote it as a love letter to their wives to show them that they understood how much pressure it is to be a perfect mom. As a mom who works, who has massive respect for moms who are homemakers, and massive respect for moms or people who don't choose not to be moms, and massive respect for moms who are doing both, working, and I think all those jobs are hard. I think that the movie's a really lovely tribute to how much pressure you feel to do everything, be a perfect mom, be a great actress, be, a lovely person. Like, sometimes you just want to be like, no.
Yeah, the PTA mom thing just blows me away.
No, that's what it's all about. It's supposed to be bad moms. Because we shot that in New Orleans, and actually, one of the makeup girls walked up to me on a break and said, "Have you auditioned for Gladys Presley in $1 Million Quartet? Because I knew her."
Really?
Mm-hmm. And you look like her. And I said, "Yeah, actually, I taped for that in December." I said, "I taped it, but I haven't heard anything." So this is how things always work in my life. It's never real subtle. It's like, so I did something I never do. It's a God thing, right? I do something I never do, which is I called my agent. I said, "Hey, I'm gonna throw this out there. This is no to do with your agent." They like me. So I was like, "Hey, so this weird thing happened. This makeup lady came up to me and said, I look like Gladys Presley. What happened with that tape?" And they were like, "Yeah, the LA casting director didn't really like you, so she didn't pass your tape on. But they just put this Southeastern casting director on the show, Jackie Birch. And the first thing she said was, I'm gonna leave the kids. Isn't Anne Mahoney playing Gladys Presley?" So she called me and she said, here's a few tips, retape it, a little different lighting, and I ended up playing the part.
Wow.
No, it airs in March of this coming year.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Canada, we get a little different distribution sometimes for,
Yeah.
Do you know what it's airing on in the States? What channel?
CMT.
CMT.
Yeah.
I think we still get CMT out here. That'll be good, that'll be fun. So you've already shot that?
Yeah, I shot that. I was going back and forth between Atlanta and Memphis this summer, and then I started a Soderbergh film that I just finished. So it's
Lucky Logan?
Yes.
Nice. That must have been incredible working with Soderbergh in that cast. Yeah.
He's a genius.
Oh God, yes.
So I don't know how much you guys know about how, particularly film works. We'll shoot like a page or 2 a day. It's like forever, right? So I do movies, but I always dread it a little bit, because in television we shoot like 10, 11, 12 pages a day. So you're like, it's still not that much, but it's so much more than movies.
Yeah.
That's not how Soderbergh works. No lights,
Mm-hmm.
no lighting, no stand-ins, no chairs on set. No one sits down.
Wow.
We did maximum of 3 takes of everything I did, mostly 1 or 2. He parks the camera where he wants it, and that's the shot.
Wow.
We don't get like all these extra shots in case, right? Because he's also a cinematographer. So he knows exactly what he wants it to look like. And when you watch dailies back, that's when you watch what we shot that day, it looks like an edited piece of film.
He's master.
He's a monster genius.
Yeah. So that must have been just intense then, just being around those.
It wasn't intense.
It was
He's everybody knows what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just lovely. He didn't give me a single note. Not one. He just went, he just watched me in rehearsal. Here we go. Let's shoot.
Wow.
Yeah?
I can't wait to see that.
He was a gem.
Yeah. It's Soderbergh. Look him up if you've never heard of him. It's great stuff. Let's start taking some questions from the audiences, and if anybody's got a question for Anne. We've got a mic set up in the aisle here. Just make it a little easier to hear.
Cool.
Nice costume.
Thank you. So just want to say is, I've never watched The Walking Dead. Don't kill me anyone. But actually, just hearing you talk about it, I'm going to give it another shot. I only watched the first season, but my real question is, if you were given a shot to either be in the Marvel or the DC movie universe, who would you like to be?
DC.
Okay. Who would you like to be in DC?
And who would you like to play?
Oh my gosh, there's
Gee.
so many. So many. I couldn't even begin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
DC
mean,
villain.
let's put it this way. I would play anything they would let me play.
Oh, DC
Did you
Universe
hear
villain.
that?
You seem to have a way with casting and directors, so who knows?
We'll see.
That would be a nice little gem.
Hey, you look great.
I just kind of wanted to know, in any of the fight scenes in The Walking Dead, has anybody actually gotten injured?
Oh, that's a good question. We really are pretty safe about it. We do a lot of rehearsal. We have a fight coordinator and his team that really go through things with us. When it comes to the guns on set, for instance, before every single take, you open the chamber with the gun guy and he goes, I confirm that this chamber is empty, do you? And you're like, yes, I do. So they're very serious about safety on the set. If you do get injured, it's usually just like you fell on your knee a funny way, but in general, we're really, really careful on that set. Because they're all real guns.
Drawing a blank, have you done a lot of scenes with the walkers on the show?
The only one I've done is in season 6 when all the walkers came into Alexandria and we all ended up fighting them. They didn't get a lot of my great footage. I had a really good time macheting a bunch of.
So they shot a lot more than they used.
Yeah, they always do.
Average. That's too bad though.
The guy playing Heath was like, we got done tonight, he's like, all I know is, I remember watching Anne Mahoney jumping over a zombie football style with her machete, like, sweating down. He was like, it was awesome.
That sucks that we didn't get to see that.
It was so much fun. I had a blast.
Yes.
Okay. Well, hi. Love you. You're such a sweet person. We're a Walking Dead family, and so we are always, debating on what is the timeline of The Walking Dead. Because I try to, the timeline with baby Judah. And I said, well, she looks like she's maybe one, maybe two.
Mm-hmm.
So do you know exactly the timeline from the, the start of the outbreak and the apocalypse and all that?
That's interesting. I know my timeline because I'm one of those crazy actors who, you should see my homework notebooks that I do. In my opinion, the camera sees what you know, so you need to know everything, right? So I know everything that happened and where I was and all that. So in my opinion, it's like 5 years out.
Okay.
That's my opinion, though.
All right.
Because Judith's probably this season, she's probably 2.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because she's not talking. I'm like, she's not really walking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm like 2. So
Yeah.
that's the.
I think it's 5 years out. Which,
Okay.
I mean, have you ever read, what's the book? There's a book about what would happen if everything if all electricity went away.
Oh, if the humans were gone too.
Something like
Yeah,
that.
they did a documentary series.
And they talked about just in a year how different things would be.
Yeah.
So to me, it seems like about 5 years
5
out.
years. Okay.
Yeah, it's always a bone of contention with fans of the series. They want to lock it down, but the creators want to keep it kind of nebulous. Because it gives them options as writers. You don't have to lock it down, but it's fans these days want hard facts. They want hard timelines. They want continuity above all, and it's tough.
And
it's
they're
very tough.
serious about that on the show. I mean, my hair is exactly the same, to the pieces and everything. Yeah, because they know that if they don't, someone will go, her hair, there was 5 pieces instead of 4.
Exactly. A can moved to the right. The peaches were on the left side in the first one.
Yeah.
I'm sure that Olivia is very careful about.
I am very careful about everything.
Yes.
Hi there. Yeah. We play Walking Dead, game here in this casino, and I would believe so many other casinos. Do the actors like you play a great role, get a piece of the action?
Oh, that's a good question. I think there's a merchandising part of the contract if you end up being on the merchandise. Yeah. Which would include things like games. If they have a figure, like an action figure or anything with the actor's picture on it, I'm sure that there's a merchandising contract.
Did they give you a Funko Pop yet?
No.
Pretty much everybody gets a Funko Pop.
Oh yeah?
So I would imagine they're gonna have one if you don't have one already.
Somebody ordered, we have a group of fans who special ordered Olivia ones.
Okay.
Which was sweet, I thought.
No, it's a big market. But yeah, it's tough. A lot of times the actors don't really get cut in on those deals. It's just, nope, you're part of the show. You get to sign them. That's the trade-off. Yes.
How long does it usually take you to shoot? Like to shoot the show?
The whole show?